Hi there, this is Stuart, Constable, and I just wanted to walk you through the bullying prevention kit. Now, bullying is something that receives a lot of press, and there's a lot of resources out there on bullying. However, all of the resources that we have seen in written format are very limited in terms of their scope, and what we wanted to do is provide things in a format that is easy to use and able to be delivered immediately without the use of external facilitators, so that people, without the need to send people to expensive courses in order to upskill them, because we've done all of the research for you and everything is fully scripted in this particular program. Now, the interesting thing about this program is that it's slightly different to our other resources because it targets both the students, the staff, as well as the parents of these students as well, because every school needs to approach bullying from a whole of school concept, meaning that it's not just the teachers that need to be working on this, it's the students as well as the parents involved. And we just wanted to talk you through, and as you can see, this is a tremendously comprehensive program because it contains, like all of our programs, the handouts and PowerPoint slides, all of the activities, the scripts, the lessons, everything that you possibly need. And there are 7 lessons in this particular kit, and all targeting the issue of bullying. And program 1 is actually directed towards staff, and I think what is critical and what all the research tells us is that it's critical for the school to be able to define bullying for your school and what it is, and as well as that, what it isn't. And that's the first lesson that we have more than 25 pages of resources of scripts and lessons and tuition and activities that you can guide your staff through to come up with a consolidated, comprehensive definition of what bullying is, because if you don't get clear on what bullying is, it's hard to be able to recognise it when it is happening. So this first lesson, targeting your staff and getting their input as to what the definition of bullying is for your school, is critical. Lesson 2 is targeting both staff and students, and it's talking about the impact of bullying. And again, we have more than 20 pages of resources of the research that is out there on what the impact of bullying is. And we're not just talking about the impact of bullying on the target of the bullying or the victim of the bullying, as devastating as that is. We're also raising people's awareness of the impact of bullying on the bully, because all the research tells us is that the bully themselves have tremendous difficulties in coping later in life if their behaviour isn't corrected, if they're not turned around and starting to behave more socially, with a lot more social responsibility within their school setting. And so the impact of bullying is looking at all of those areas and the impact that it has, not just on the victim or the target of the bullying, but also the bully themselves, as well as the wider community of the school and the impact that may have. Program 3 is particularly focused on the students, which is how to respond to bullying, and some detail there about why stop bullying and what you can do if you are bullied, or what you are to do if you witness bullying, and some real guidelines about what the best responses are. And because a lot of students are at a loss as to what to do, they see it, but they're not sure what to do about it. And we guide them through in that lesson. Again, more than 30 pages of lessons here that you can extend in just one, cover in just one lesson, or extend it over several lessons, because there's so many activities and scripts and handouts and resources around that particular topic. Program 4 is very different because it's about creating your school's bullying prevention policy. And what we have done here is created an entire agenda and guideline on how you, as a school, can create from scratch what your bullying prevention policy is. Because many of them are created at a moment's notice without any great rigour. And what we're encouraging is that the school's bullying prevention policy has input from the staff, from students, as well as from parents, and through a committee or through a meeting process you can articulate what that policy actually looks like. Now, what we have here is the full, more than 40 pages of resources around what that meeting would look like, preparing for that meeting, who's going to chair that meeting, who takes the minutes, and each of the topics that you cover off. Now, there's not many resources available that actually go to that detail, but we've guided you through that entire process there. In Program 5 or Lesson 5, communicating your bullying prevention policy. It's one thing to have a policy, but does anyone know about it? And we've got some great resources about how to get the message out there, and some really innovative ways that your whole school can be a part of communicating this bullying prevention policy. That it's not just up to the office or the principal to do that. Students can be involved in promoting that message that bullying is not permitted at our school. Program 6 is your policy presentation. Now, we've constructed an entire presentation for your school to deliver. A presentation for your school to deliver to students, as well as an entire presentation to deliver to the parents of your students, or any other stakeholders that you might want to brief on your bullying prevention policy. We've guided you step by step what that presentation will look like. We've designed some resources, some templates for you to use if you're keen to use PowerPoint in communicating that policy. It's all there, and it really is just a case of adding in your detail, because all the templates are there about how to actually present that policy. Program 7 is a very important one as well. Lesson 7 is about how to work with parents. How to work with parents around the issue of bullying if their child has been bullied or if their child is the bully. It's critically important that we're able to communicate effectively with parents and get their buy-in to actually resolve the issue. And there's a guide to working with parents. There are family factors. There's details there on family factors that may contribute to bullying and victimisation, because that's helpful for staff to understand what some of the contributing factors might be as to why this circumstance has arisen. And also some role play scenarios for your staff to utilise in order to prepare themselves for those meetings with parents, so that they can actually get skilled in what it's like to have that discussion with a parent, because so many staff are faced with that prospect without being skilled in that area. And it's all contained here. That entire process is contained here in this kit, in these resources, and we think it's a tremendous addition to the bullying prevention programs that every school has or every state has, because it just goes to so much detail on how you can do it yourselves and take control of your bullying prevention activities and be able to have that ability to turn these circumstances, these unfortunate circumstances around, and for the betterment of not only the students but for the school and the whole school community.